who it was here. Thanks for coming to Gentle Range of Motion today. Let's go ahead and get started. So you want to make sure that you have a sturdy chair and you're in a peaceful environment. Turn off any phones, television. We don't need to hear about doomsday news right now. Let's just shut everything off and focus on ourselves here for a moment. So you're going to come to the front edge of your seat, sitting up nice and tall. Bring your hands on top of your thighs. I want you to close your eyes. We're just going to sit here for a few moments and focus on our breath. So nice big inhales in through your nose and out through your nose. So practicing this style of breathing just so you can really focus on feeling the lungs and the rib cage expand and contract with each breath, helping to strengthen your diaphragm. Put us in a nice, calm state. On your next exhale, I want you to go ahead and start by dropping your chin from shoulder to shoulder. So allow your head to roll forward. Taking your time here. Allow your head to hang forward for just a moment. And as your head is hanging forward, draw your shoulders back. Make sure you're sitting up tall. From here, I want you to roll your head back up so you're looking straight ahead. From here, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. So you're going to keep moving side to side here at your own pace. And just try to be mindful of your shoulders as you're doing this. So trying to keep them down so that way we feel the stretch in the side of your neck as opposed to feeling your spine stretch because you lean over. So keep everything below the neck still. Just moving side to side. Few more breaths here. Keep on inhaling in through your nose and out through your nose. Let's go ahead and bring our head back to center, looking straight ahead. Now I want you to go ahead and shake your head yes for me. So when you shake your head yes, make sure you're not looking too high up. Just bring your head and your eyes to where your wall and ceiling meet. Let's go ahead and bring your head back to center, looking straight ahead. From here, I want you to go ahead and drop both arms down by your sides. Shoulder rolls forward. Very nice. You can make those rolls as big or as small as you need to. And let's reverse those shoulder rolls. Take them back now. Open up your chest. Open up your shoulders. Keep it going. Don't forget your breath. Inhaling in through the nose, out through the nose. Let's go ahead and bring those arms all the way back down by your sides. From here, I want you to bring those hands to a prayer position. Take your elbows out. Hands are pressing together. Good. And from here, you're going to go ahead and alternate between pointing your fingers away from you and then pointing them toward you. Good. So back and forth here. And as you're doing this, try to see if you can keep your shoulders down. So focus on locking those shoulders down. So that way we feel this movement in your forearms and your wrist, not in your trapezius, which is just this muscle up here. Take your time, see if you can go a little bit further. And go ahead and make your way back to center. From here, I want you to inhale those arms all the way up to the sky, reach as high as you can. Exhale, let the arms float down. And repeat that. Inhale, heart center, all the way up to the sky. Exhale, arms float down. Good. Keep it going. Each time you inhale, think about lengthening the spine. Grow an extra vertebra. Get a little bit taller in your chair. Lift the crown of your head up towards the sky. On this next inhale, I want you to keep those arms up overhead. Lengthen your spine. Sit up nice and tall. Remember to breathe. Good. One more breath. On your exhale, let's take your hands behind you. Grab the back of your chair. Hold on to the back of that chair. Roll your shoulder blades together. Offer the heart forward. So a slight arch in your spine. Eyes and head are looking to where your wall and ceiling meet. And feel the stretch across your chest, maybe into your shoulders. Remember to breathe here. Feel the chest expand and collapse. On your next exhale, let's release your hands all the way down by your side. Very nice. From here, I want you to take your legs a little bit wider than your hips, and your knees and your toes are going to be pointing out to the sides. Good. We're going to go ahead and do our side bends. It's just a little bit different with wider legs, so you'll feel it a little bit more in your lower back. Take that right arm, reach up and over to your left side. Use the other arm for support. Good, and then we're going to go switch to the other side. Good, side to side here. And don't worry about trying to straighten out the top arm. My top arm has a bend. Focus on really trying to lean over to the side and keep your chest facing the front of your room. Keep it going here. Remember to breathe. Inhaling on your transitions. Exhaling as you reach over. It's those exhales where your body's going to relax a little bit more so you can get a little bit deeper into the pose. On your next transition, I want you to come back to center, sitting up nice and tall in your chair. Keep those legs wide. You're going to go ahead and bring your fingers to the inside of your thighs, so almost on the inside of your knees. And we're going to alternate dropping each shoulder between our legs. So it's going to look like this. You're going to drop your right shoulder down towards those thighs, and you're going to look over your left shoulder. And then you're going to bring yourself back to center, and you're going to switch sides. Drop the left shoulder down between those knees, come back to center. So we're getting a little bit of a spinal twist here and a slight shoulder stretch. Make sure you're hinging at your hips, so don't round your spine when you go down. If that means you don't go as low, that's fine. This isn't about how low we're going. This is about getting some movement in the spine. Good. Remember to exhale as you twist and lower down. Inhale out when you're at center. Exhale, twist and lower. Make sure you're looking towards that opposite shoulder. So if you're dropping your left shoulder down, you look up towards your right. It's an important part of this. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and come back to center. Sit up nice and tall. Heel toe those feet back to hip width apart. Hands on top of your thighs. Let's go ahead and inhale as you arch your spine. Push your chest and stomach out, hands by your hip bones. Exhale, round the spine, round your shoulders. Drop your head, hands over the knees. Keep it going, back and forth. Inhale as you arch. Exhale as we round. Feel free to hold each position for a few seconds before you transition. No need to go fast here. I know I always take my time really going into that rounded position because that one feels the best for me. So I like to hold it for a second before I transition. All right, on your exhale, let's go ahead and come back to center. Sit up nice and tall in your chair. From here, let's inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Turn to your right as far as you can. Exhale as you bring the arms down on the outside of your thigh or your chair. Continue to twist to your right. Look over that right shoulder. Let's go ahead and turn your head back to center first. And then inhale, reach those arms all the way overhead. Go ahead and turn your left as far as you can. Exhale, bring those arms down. Continue to twist and then look over your left shoulder. Remember, you can hold on to your thigh, outside of your chair, whatever you need to. Go ahead and turn your head back to center. Then inhale, reach those arms up to the sky. From here, we're going to go into a forward fold. So exhale, bring your chest towards the top of your thighs. Arms are going to fall down towards the floor. Hang heavy here for just a moment. Take a couple deep breaths into your back. So inhale, feel your back rise. Exhale, feel it collapse. Let's slowly begin rolling ourselves back up to center, one vertebra at a time. Meaning that we're going to take our time as we come up to center. Your head comes up last. Good. From here, feet are going to stay hip width apart. Take your peace fingers to the outsides of your knees. Let's go ahead and bring your knees together. And then take the knees out. Make sure your feet don't move. So knees together, knees apart. If you notice it's really difficult for you to not be able to roll those feet, you can try taking them a little bit wider, just a tiny bit. That might help. So knees apart, knees together. Start warming up those hips as we get into some hip and leg work. We've been working us from the top of the body going down, so hopefully you're feeling that. Alright, bring those legs back to hip width apart. From here, I want you to lean back in your chair. So make sure you're at the front edge of your seat so that way you can actually lean back. From here, I want you to extend your right leg out in front of you and kind of point your toe here. So your foot's still down on the floor, leg is pointed. That way we feel a stretch in your psoas on this side. And now I want you to take that left leg and we're going to bring it up towards us. Good, and I just want you to circle that leg around. So we're just moving the leg and the hip socket. We're only going to do this for just a little bit because I know it can be uncomfortable for some people. Reverse your circle. Bring that leg back to center, lower it down. Let's switch to the other side. So bring your right foot in. Now extend your left leg out, point that toe. Now we're going to pull that right leg in towards our chest. And then I want you to circle the leg around in that hip socket. and reverse it. And bring it back to center. Gently lower that foot down. I want you to stay back in your chair. From here, your feet are going to make contact with the floor. And what we're going to do here is we're going to alternate opening the knees. So going onto the outsides of your feet where your pinky toes are at. And then you're going to go ahead and bring your feet back to the floor. So again, we turn the knees out, resting on the outside of your feet, and then you're going to bring the knees back together. So you should feel that in your hips. You should feel an opening because we go on to the outsides of your feet, knees are apart, and then you bring the feet back to the floor, knees together. Not all the way together, just back to hip width apart. So apart and together. Apart and together. Good. Make sure as you're doing this, lift your chest up slightly so that way you're not letting that lower back sink. And it's really important that you go on the outsides of those feet as you take your knees apart. Good. 10 more seconds. Keep breathing. All right, let's go ahead and bring those legs back to center. Let's go ahead and roll ourselves back up in our seats. From here, a little bit of movement, so a little dynamic stretching before we hold things. You're going to extend your right leg forward, land on your heel, and then I want you to hinge forward just slightly, just a little hinge, because then you're going to come back up to center. And you're going to switch legs. So you're going to go side to side here. So it's a slight hinge forward. Pull yourself up. Bring the leg in. Switch sides. So it's a slow movement here. We're doing this dynamically so that way we can get those hamstrings warmed up. And you don't have to hinge forward as far as you normally would. Like I said, we're doing very little movements just to wake up those hamstrings and wake up your calf on each side, really flexing that foot. Remember to brace your core as you hinge. Go ahead now, and you're going to extend that left leg forward and keep that left leg extended forward. So our fold here is going to look a little bit different. So I want you to actually take your right hand and you're going to reach down towards that left foot. So it's the opposite arm. And you're going to reach wherever you feel comfortable. It might be above the knee, below the knee, your ankle, your foot, wherever it feels good for you. I'm using my left hand to hold on to my thigh, just a little support. And once you're just adding this little twist. Remember, we're hinging at your hips, so don't round your lower back. Keep it flat. Take a couple more breaths here. See if you can sink your chest a little bit lower towards that left thigh. exhale, let's gently release. Roll yourself all the way back to center. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So bring that left foot in. Extend your right leg. Good. Sit up nice and tall. Keep that foot flexed. Now we're going to take that left hand. Start reaching down towards your right foot. Again, you stop where you need to, whether it's above the knee, below it, ankles, or ankle, foot. And again, I like to use my right hand for support, so it's just holding on to my thigh to give my upper body a little bit more support. Remember to keep flexing your foot. With each exhale, see if you can sink your chest a little bit lower towards that right thigh. On your exhale, let's slowly release that foot, rolling all the way back up to center, and bring that leg in. Good. All right. Feet are back to hip width apart. We're going to alternate doing a 1-2 pull on one leg then the other. So it's going to look like this. You're going to grab hold of that left thigh, and you're going to pull it up once, and then your second time is going to be as high as you can, and then lower it all the way down. Then we're going to switch to the other side. So you do a 1 lift, 2 as high as you can, lower it down. We're going to keep going side to side here. 1, 2, lower it down. Good. Keep it going. Just trying to provide a little bit of relief to that lower back since we just had it hinging forward. A little stretch here in your hip flexors. Getting ready for the next pose. A little bit longer. All right, on your exhale, bring that leg back down. Okay, moving deeper into those hips. Couple options. Right ankle can cross over the left. Focus on getting that right knee to turn out to the side. Option 2, bring that right ankle over your left knee. Whichever one feels better for you. You can start by sitting up tall, but if you need a deeper stretch, begin hinging forward. And it doesn't matter if your ankle's on top of your knee or over your other ankle. You can hinge forward in either position. And I start little by little. So I might start with my forearms on my thigh or on my leg first. Focus on a few exhales. And then maybe after 2 or 3 exhales, you can always see if maybe you found a little bit more wiggle room to go lower. Just make sure you keep breathing. Few more breaths here. You're doing great. Just keep breathing. Remember, your exhale is where you find the release to go deeper or feel more comfortable in this position. Take one last breath. As you exhale, let's begin rolling ourselves back up if you were hinged forward. And then wherever you're at, we're going to uncross that ankle. And we're going to go onto the other side because otherwise the body doesn't feel so even. So, same thing other side. So either left ankle over your right, focus on that knee falling out to the side. Or you can bring that ankle over the knee. Good. Remember, you start sitting up tall, and then as you get more comfortable in the movement, maybe you exhale. See if you can go a bit deeper. Make sure you never stretch to the point of pain. You only want to stretch to where you feel a little bit of tension in the body, but never any pain. And every day is different. Some days the right side's more open than the left, and other days the left is better than the right. So just take your time. Remember to hinge at your hips as you're doing this. I know it's easy to start rounding forward to get further, but keep your chest lifted and think about reaching forward with the body instead of curling down. So I think about reaching my chest past my feet, and that helps maintain that flat low back. And it might look like you don't get to go further down, but that's fine. It's better to have proper alignment as opposed to looking like we're doing the pose. But a few more breaths here. All right, on your next exhale, let's begin coming back up to center. If you were hinged forward, take your time coming up. And then we're going to go ahead and uncross that side. Nice job. All right, from here, moving into that psoas, giving your glutes and your piriformis a bit of a little rest. You're going to take that right leg, turn out to the side. So you have to turn in your chair, drop that left knee down towards the floor. So you always have a couple options here, right? So some of us might have the knee lined up to the hip because that's where our body's at today, and that's fine. Those of you where your left side might feel a bit more open today, you might be able to take that left leg further back behind you. Almost like you were in a runner's lunge is what we would call this. Make sure your shoulders are squared, just like your hips are squared. And that just means we're not rolling forward. So you see how this, my hips are open towards you. So I want to make sure that your hips are turning so they're squared off forward or to the side. Just hold this position, focus on your breath. Now, if you need to go deeper into this pose, and it's just a suggestion, but you would slightly tuck your tailbone so that way you start to feel that stretch deeper into your psoas. So if you notice, I'll do it with my hands. So right now my hips are in kind of a neutral position, but if I tuck my tailbone under, so pulling my pelvis under, I get a deeper stretch when I do that. So it's just an option, you don't have to do it. Hands can be wherever they feel comfortable. So I like holding my hips. You can hold your chair if you'd like. Hold your thigh. If you want to, it's nice to close your eyes when you're in this position. Just make sure you hold onto your chair if you do that. Take one more breath here for me. As you exhale, I want you to release that left hip. Start turning back to the front of your chair. Then we're going to switch to the other side. So turning your left knee out to the side, dropping your right knee down towards the floor. Again, you can have the knee and hip in one straight line. If that feels good for you, stay right here. If you need to go a little bit deeper into your psoas, start extending that right leg behind you. Keep your toes and the ball of your foot on the floor. Check in with your hips now and see what's going on. Make sure they're not turning towards the front of your chair, but instead both hip bones are turned towards the side of your chair. Sitting up tall. Remember, bring your hands to a comfortable position. And if you need a deeper stretch, remember you can always slightly tuck your tailbone or do the motion of tucking your tailbone. You're not going to be able to tuck it very far because we have that right leg extended behind you, but do the motion of tucking your tailbone until you feel that stretch on the right side of your body. It feels like your groin, but it's your psoas that we're stretching. A few breaths here. Remember, you can close your eyes if you'd like, or just hold on to your chair if you do that. Sometimes it's nice to close the eyes, get into that meditative state. Just focus on your inhale and your exhale. On your exhale, release that right side. Go ahead and start turning back to the front of your chair. Good. From here, I want you to take both legs wide, knees and toes pointing out to the sides. From here, let's inhale the arms all the way up to the sky. Reach as high as you can. Exhale, sweep the earth below you. So hinge at those hips, sweep the earth. Inhale all the way back up and reach. Good. And exhale, fold and sweep. Good. Keep it going here. Moving the whole body. On your next exhale, I want you to take those hands all the way down as low as you can. If you can touch the floor, great, touch the floor. If you're not there yet, that's fine. You can hold onto your ankles, or maybe you have your forearms on top of your thighs and you're hinged forward. Wherever you're at, I want you to just hold this position, and your focus here is on making sure your back is flat and you're taking those knees out. So that way you feel that stretch in your inner thighs. Breathe here. On your exhale, let's begin rolling ourselves back up, one vertebra at a time. Use your hands to help bring you up. And then lift your head back to center. Good. From here, let's heel toe those feet back to hip width apart. Go ahead, and from here, I want you to drop your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Let that head roll forward. Be mindful not to roll it back. And I want you to allow your head to hang forward for just a moment. Gently roll your head up, look straight ahead. Good, one more thing before we go. I want you to lean all the way back in your chair. Bring your shoulder blades and your shoulders to the top of the chair. Extend your legs out in front of you. I want you to imagine you're in bed and you've just woken up. So I want you to stretch as far as you can. So reach those legs out in front of you. Stretch the arms overhead. And then relax everything down. Good. We're going to do that one more time. So nice big inhale. Stretch those legs. Reach those arms. Do any kind of wiggle or movement you need to that feels good. Exhale. Bring it all down. Gently begin rolling yourself all the way back up to center. Nice big inhale together. Reach those arms up. Exhale, lower them down. One more time. Inhale, nice big. Reach up to the sky. On your exhale, bring your hands to a prayer position in front of you. Thank you all for joining me today. Always nice to see your faces. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for coming.